Good morning. Good morning, all. Hope everyone is well. I'm gonna make this short and sweet. The question is, could it be that I'll say vices, and by vices I mean things that people use to feel better, and how about, rather than shunning or calling it a so-called habit, could it be that we're ready to just say, hey, this is something I enjoy doing, so let me at least stay in the enjoyment of it. And by that I mean, let's just say people who smoke cigarettes, right? It's like this person is smoking because it brings them a sense of relief, right? This is radical a little, right? Because it's gonna kind of like really bring up a lot, because a lot is linked to cigarettes, and I'm not here for that. I'm here for the person who actually smokes cigarettes, and that being their path of least resistance, their moment of relief. And isn't that the feeling that we're all trying to achieve in order to create our lives, the better life that we all desire? So could it be that the person who's smoking cigarettes, rather than beat themselves up, right? You put them in positions where they are beating themselves up, feeling bad because they have a habit, or I know I should stop, and I know, it's a very bah humbuggish energy that I feel like people who smoke, drink, do whatever it is that society deems as kind of like, oh, that's a bad habit. I had this video, and it was literally why call habits, I don't remember, maybe that's why I didn't upload, but I hope this one made sense, because it's been a couple months since it's been some time actually. The correlation between what society says, oh, that's gonna make you sick, oh, that's gonna cause this, does it even matter? And the answer is no. What matters is your relationship with said thing, how it makes you feel, right? How it makes you feel. And then here's the kicker. While you're doing that thing, that's when you now dream a little dream. When you go smoke your cigarette, how about not focusing on why you went? And why I say that is, I don't smoke cigarettes, but most people, it's like, oh, when the stress level gets high, or oh, I need a cigarette, Some people, it's just like a morning routine and things like that. But I'm more focused on the people who need it as a, oh my God, this is gonna calm me down, or so it's like that person should stop, not the cigarette, but while smoking the cigarette, say, all right, I'm out here, like, look around, start appreciating, start thinking of the things that are working out in your life, and like, try to get yourself feeling better. You have the cigarette in your hand, so it's kind of doing that role, but like, now you have to do the work, the thought process work and the feeling work, so that when you go back inside, things actually are a little bit better. Or at least that, let's say there is still a hiccup, you don't now focus on it. You're like, oh, it's okay. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do. When you enter another, let's say, Abraham calls it segment, but like, boom, situation, high intensity, I need a cigarette. You go, you have your cigarette. In that moment, rather than, use it as an opportunity to remind why you're out there, switch it up. While you're smoking your cigarette, switch it up. And the same thing for the drinks, right? The same thing for what do you call them, like marijuana. Now there's so many things, right? There's vapes. There's all types of goodies out here. And in my neighborhood, there's a lot of kids that are doing it, and it's kind of like, I love them, but can you imagine? You imagine children, like, understanding this, because it's like they need to understand it, because a lot of us are now figuring this out, you know. And it's not that we're old, there's none of that. It's just kind of like, dang, if I was 6 years old, man, can you imagine? Be like a super, wow, because that imagination is something. But anyway, that's what I wanted to share. I hope you all have a beautiful day. And I'm gonna say again, like, you know, this is pretty cool. It was uncomfortable for me at first, but I have gotten myself to a position where I don't hear or want to hear any voice other than the voice of my higher self. Just the voice of like that soft, that calming voice. Yeah, that one is all I listen to in any situation. That, you know, that voice that says, yeah, let's try this, or, you know, oh, I like that. You know, you do? Yeah, I like that. But yeah, it makes you nicer, you're kinder, and why not? Life will just unfold because you're in that energy, the energy of just peace and love and kindness. Just be nice, you know. Again, I was just trying to close out, because I'm probably not gonna title this video, because I believe so firmly in the law of attraction, and that if you are watching this up until this point, like, you're golden. You are totally golden, because you literally know the difference between what feels good and what doesn't. You no longer focus on the gray area. It either is or it isn't. And if you're not there, get there, because that's all it takes. It either is or it isn't. In the moment, like, either is or it isn't. And it's gonna be challenging. And here's a quick little story. It's gonna be challenging. I share an office with a lovely, lovely, lovely woman. I mean, heart of gold, but opinionated. Still likes to kind of like wheel over and, you know, and I'm just like, ooh, you just you know. And it's like, Danny, you know, is this the time to come out and say, ma'am, be nice, because you are embodying the frequency, you know, like, is that the time? Is that where we're at now? Or is it still like a quiet, you know, where you can kind of smirk because you just know that you know? Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about it. That's all I have for now. I just really wanted to share that. So again, if I'm appearing before you, hey, my name's Danny. Well, it's Danielle. You can call me Danny. My page is titled yeah, that page is entitled. It is it's titled Right Place, Right Time. So yeah, that's why I'm probably not gonna title it, but like, that's so whatever. All right, let's just see what happens. Because like I was saying, I trust in the law of attraction, and I trust that if it finds you, it is for you. And I know I sound like a broken record, but it really is what it is, because once you are aligned, you no longer question what comes at you. Like, you have to make the most of it. You got to say, you know, no, there's no way. I've done all this work. There's no way I'm still attracting shitty shit. Right? So you see the beauty of everything. Switch it. That's your work. No matter what it is. I know it sounds weird. It sounds like you're, well, yeah, you are pretending, but like, for the sake of the vibration that you're giving off, not like making it make logical sense. No, make it make feeling sense. Like, it feels better to see it this way than to see it that way. Yeah, but you look crazy. It don't matter. It feels better. If it went this way, that I would feel better. Because you are a feeling being. That's how you navigate the world, through feeling. Okay? Just because everybody else likes it doesn't mean you should like it. Just because everybody else is doing it doesn't mean you should do it. You ask yourself, the one that is your vehicle, because you are spirit. Yes? Spirit having a human experience. So this human body is kind of like how I'm sitting in this car, right? Let me be spirit and the car be the human body. Make sense? Okay, that's all. I love you so much.